yourself. We're going back there and this jump. It's going to be a jump here at the end of it. I'm going to drop in a 40 real quick. This is incredible. People ride around here, but I found this old abandoned jump line that, I mean, people roll through it like a trail, but the jumps are all abandoned and neglected and run over, so they don't do what they used to do. This old first jump line is just too good to not be revived. And nobody's going to get in here and do the work to rebuild these lips and bring this back to life here. I will.
You can see that this is kind of like the crown jewel of the old jump line here. It's big, kind of a step down. Jumping into the mountains.
This jump is just too good to not come back to life. I mean, look at this jump line. Like I said, nobody's gonna get in here and do this work. People roll through here a little bit, but it's sort of forgotten. And what could it be, you know? What it used to be. Just needs to be there again.
All those jumps leading into that are gonna need some care, but I guess I'll just start with this crown jewel here, so it can get fixed up, and then there's still plenty of rain coming in for the winter time. This is an incredible sunny day up here above the fog line, but it's January and there's still plenty of rain coming in, so if I get this fixed up here, it's gonna get worked into becoming the lip that it once was. So good thing I just happen to have Frankenstein traveling with me, because I can do everybody a favor and bring this jump back to life. So I'm going to start out by just kind of opening this up a little bit. Pretty much, I mean, at this point, this is a natural feature, just like I was working on before, just like I usually work on, so pretty much the same procedure. I just have it a little easier because it used to be a jump, so it'll be easier to get it back to that again. But I'll start out by kind of just pulling stuff over to the side. It's a little grassy in here, so gotta kind of dig in a little bit and fire this stuff a little bit. I don't want to pull up too much of that filler stuff in there. Might jam that, pack that back in there. I'm not sure if I want to pull that out. But it's kind of like a muddy mess in here. Half cups just come out. It's starting to smooth out. We'll chop that grass up and blend that in right there. Here already, this is coming back. I've been down in there a little bit. I've been down in here, around in here a little bit. Man, this place has a lot to offer. There's some other trails opened up. But, like I said, people just treat this like a, I don't know, walking trail or a cross-country trail or something, but these are jumps. So
That's just the way it is. These were built to be jumps, not rolling mounds.
So I just have to fix these. I mean, I can't help it. Everybody's gonna appreciate it when they roll through here and get a nice good kick off this. And then that actually becomes doable. So I feel like it's just my responsibility to get in here and fix this stuff, because I know how to do it, I know what it needs, and I know nobody else is gonna get in here. It's just not right for this jump to be sitting here being a big fake fool. This whole place needs so much repair, but nobody's gonna get in here and do what it really needs. Maybe they'll do a volunteer group in here and they'll come and cut some rocks nobody else around here that's gonna kind of see this jump, you know. It's not really too many around here. It's not really a group around here that makes jumps a priority. It's more about just like cross-country trails.
Here's this wonderfully crafted step down here. Just waiting. This whole jump line is really good. It's got some doubles coming in. It's got a step down I can build up at the beginning, so ghost line. Ghost line's gonna come to life. goes again. So stoked to be back here at Ghost Line again. Round 2. So pretty much just been thinking about it and what I need to do with each part in here to build the speed a little bit, make it as good as it can be. I think that this probably used to be a tabletop and actually had like a little lip on it, you know. But now it's just a roller, and it's just kind of like a weird, awkward roller coming in that messes up the flow for the entrance here. So what I'm thinking is that this just needs to be a tabletop again.
So there's like a little roller coming in. There's not really enough speed to double it, unless you just pedal really, really hard, but it's not really worth it, kind of. I don't know. That's like the last one on the list there. But even rolling it, there's plenty of speed coming in. That this could be a nice little tabletop if I just put an edge on there. So Reichenstein has a little sidekick shovel assistance today, because what I was thinking is that all I really need to do is just kind of cut into the face a little bit, scoop out a new jump face, and it's going to be easier to just kind of get it started by cutting into it rather than just trying to rake and pile it up.
So normally I do all my work with just one tool pretty much, but I decided it's going to be a lot better if I just do some quick cut work on this face. So here comes the mini digger.
I'm going to be able to do what I need to do if I just set the phone up, so let's get that going.
It's just sweet blue sky up here. Perfect day for working.
Alright, so it shouldn't be too hard to get started with the right shape here. This is where the old lip was, I'm pretty sure. It must have been a tabletop before. So all I gotta do is just cut along that edge. from where I get this other way. And then I'll just meet it in the middle.
Alright, now it's time for you know who. Now it's a cakewalk. A nice chocolate cake is what I end up with. I don't need to worry about this edge past here because it just kind of caves in there anyway, so nobody's going to want to be going off there. You don't want to hit the line, you know. So I'm just going to focus on this middle part that's actually going to get used. It's a little bit lumpy in here. It's a little bit lopsided, so I'll just bring from the high side to fill it out. Bring that smooth side. Oh yeah. Alright, so now they're blending that side in anyway. Make it look all nice and smooth. Pro work. This is going to become the most popular line. This is going to become the most popular line in this place. Biggest jumps around here. Really like biggest jumps around here at all. I mean, these will be the biggest jumps within an hour at least for this little zone here. 2 hours from here. This place is set in a decent spot. It's nearby some other little, well, more heavily used cross-country type trails. So people are hungry for more will be coming in on this. It's a little bit lumpy on that transition. I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit. Just using the backside. Oh, that's why there's a rock in there. Got it. Sometimes you gotta know when to walk away. I probably could have just left this one, but I got back into it again. Now I have to kind of start over, fix the shape. I started to get too overkill on it. And it's even better up here today than the other day. It's a little bit warmer, a lot warmer actually. I got that sun just beaming on me right now. It's like another world compared to down below in that fog. It's like frozen fog down there. There we go. I kind of had to work it a little bit more. I think I would have had to anyway. That looks better. I'll have to give it a try to really know, but I'm not sure how much of a kick it needs. Pretty good speed coming down, and it's not far to that little landing, so I think it needs to kind of just be more of like a slanted, gradual kind of a launcher ramp, not so much of like an upward kicker. I'm thinking if I make this one too much of a kicker, it's going to be an over the bars kind of thing, just because of the angle coming in. And because the actual ramp is pretty short, you see, so if it had like a nice long ramp, like if I built this up taller, then I could do a kicker, but with just a little short ramp like this, if it's too steep, it's just going to be like a speed bump, straight over the bars. But I'm just trying to work with what's here without having to do a whole lot right now, so maybe eventually this will need to get built up tall, but just to kind of make the shape start to come back a little bit, I'll just kind of do this. Over time, the shape will come back more and more, but this will just get it started. Without cutting it in and redoing it like this, it would just stay that round kind of top forever. But now at least it'll settle back into being this. There we go. Might come back to it later, tinker with it more, get all obsessed about it. But I'm wanting to get down there and give a little love to all of them today, so they can all kind of just be set up. too steep, I don't know. Just gonna have to kind of give it a little try. Let's get it right now. Oh yeah.
Alright, so with that one, kind of giving a little hop and more speed coming in, landing in on the downslope, dropping into this nice curved chute here. It's got a nice berm shape. And then next comes this little roller, which also probably used to be some kind of little something, but it just got hammered down and the shape got lost, I guess. Or maybe it was made to be a roller, or that's just kind of the shape of the ground through here, so they just went with that. I don't know, but when you come at it really quick, it's kind of a problem. Kind of tapping the brakes and then trying to drop down into this slick corner here. It doesn't have a real big berm on it, just sort of the shape. And then it kind of throws off the whole deal coming into the rest of it. Well, I mean, both of these, this one and this other roller here, they both throw off the whole deal because you need that speed to get over this nice little tabletop here. And getting over that tabletop is what sets it up to get over the finisher in this little section. So these two rollers just really just mess it all up. I mean, that one's kind of doable. You have to pinch the brakes a little bit and then you try to drop down into that corner. It's pretty slick, pretty hard to hold the speed going around that curve. But this one here, I mean, after you've already lost the speed and you're already fighting the corner, just trying to stay on the line without hitting the brakes too much because you want this tabletop, you know. So coming in here after already dealing with that and then trying to go over this little roller and trying to pump this, and then that's not even a huge tabletop, but it's almost impossible to get over it when you have to try to pump this, which robs all your speed. It's not quite good enough to kind of like air over it, but if you go fast, you kind of hop off the top a little bit and land right down into the flat. So just totally throws it off no matter how you try to do it. So this needs to be reworked for sure. And then this one up here, I don't know if maybe I can kind of like round it down more so you can kind of just float over it better, but I think I'm going to turn it back into like a little tabletop or something, like cutting an edge on it like the other one. And I'll try to do that here, but it's pretty low. So I don't know if I might have to build that up in there. We'll see how it starts to go as I cut into it.
Oh, it's not Reichenstein's turn yet. I'm gonna cut it from here only to here because, well, yeah, I'm only gonna cut it to here because the shape of the berm just kind of funnels it all into this range. So if you're out to here, you're already riding on this high stuff, lumpy, unworked, out of the line. So, I mean, if you're already over to there, might as well just reset. So it makes sense to just have the jump cut to here, because that's where the fast line comes in, and the fast line is the only one you want. So there you go. little sod pieces out of the way here. There's a little ridge left over that was in between. There we go. That's workable. Next. So I'll pull from the bottom. And I'll have to get these stuff down here. Where I'll flatten this out. I was looking right at the very entrance to the jump. It's good. Oh yeah, I cut it in just the right spot so it just kind of does like this. Makes a little mini berm that funnels right into the face. We'll bring all this loose stuff all the way up. Even a little bit past where I cut that edge. Because that'll help blend in that sharp edge. Just kind of push this up a little bit. I'll use the flat side. Just see how it goes. See how much more I need to dig into in here. Getting there already. Bring this back again. There's a little bit of a clump right here I need to get out. That's just came right over there. Gotta get some of that dirt back. Turn around, use it flat, fix that hole. There's a rock right here. Maybe I can leave it, I don't know. I'll leave it for now. There we go, that's got a nice tall one on it. This one I want it to be really steep because it has a nice run coming in and I don't want to clear too much distance, just want to go up more. It's nice all straight up and straight down. So it needs to be steep. And because it has this nice long face on it, there's room to make it steep. That's just one of the things you get a feel for over time, that balance of the length of the jump face with how steep it is. Because if you have a nice long jump face, it can be steep, like a dirt jump style, big kicker, you know. Because the bike has room to compress into that and get set for the launch. But if it's a short little face, you have to be careful making it too steep because the bike just hits that and the front tire just jams into it and over the bars go. Modification. Pretty good for a test run. Doing some smoothing out on the funky parts of the station. I just want to keep moving along. Before I test this one out, I'm just going to go cut in that other one real quick. Oh, it's getting a little softer. So this one I can make a lip by cutting up and into it like that. And as I go up the slope, the shovel kind of just deflects away and it leaves it with that ramp. Start at the lowest point, going like from where it's flat, with the shovel held flat, with the tip kind of just barely floating over the edge. And then as it starts to hit the raised part, it'll cut into it. And then you just let it glide on up. You start at the bottom. Just work like that all the way across. got that first started. Alright. I'm smoothing it out, seeing how far up it goes. See how far up I can put this space here. Alright. Actually, that wasn't even that hard either. That's the whole height on there already. There's the whole height on there already. That wasn't even that bad. Not even bad. Time to switch. Go to the bottom and bring up everything that's down there. All the way up to the top. Even everything out across. I'll pull this loose stuff as far past the edge as it kind of goes before it flattens out. And starts to flatten out a little bit and get too far, so that's the point where you stop, stomp down that little bit more flat part there. That's already making the back edge, the back side of the strip. That's going to get something that you can break into. And then once you get it to where the rake's sliding on up like that, you can come around and stomp it out. So easy when the dirt's wet like this. Awesome. Alright. Flat side, even it out a little more. Right here. Gotta dig out right here. Alright. I'll just keep the train going here. Run down to this next one. See if it needs any care.
This one comes with a little extra deposit. Probably looks like Bobcat. See if I can find it. Send it out of here. Not want to flick it wrong. Later, turds. Alright. So this one's just about good. It has that nice shape on it already. And it's jumpable already. It's just as it is, as it was coming in. We'll see how it is now, but as it was, it's kind of hard, like I was saying, to hold the speed. So then coming up on this, kind of just tend to thump right down on this part. Which with more speed, that can be avoided and just land on this nice slope and on you go. But and the whole problem really is just those speed robbers that I worked on. So we'll see how that goes, but This one I see I can do a little maintenance on it. It doesn't need much of a reconstruction, but I can do a little maintenance by just kind of cutting any weird lumps out of the front and just raking it to smooth it out. Just kind of freshen it up a little bit. So I'll do that real quick.
There it is, the crown jewel. Jump it towards the mountain, up above the clouds, with this bluer than blue sky today. When it's like that with the fog trap down there's nothing but just solid blue left. Makes it look a little bit darker than it is, but it's just like that bluebird. Electric blue. Kind of like a silvery white haze on the horizon over there. The phone doesn't show it either, but the fog is actually like lit up. I mean, it's like, it's got some colors in there and everything too, a little bit. Between the places where it's kind of rolling around. It's like another world up here. It's just too cool. Alright. Great day.
Yeah, be stuck daydreaming forever. So I was thinking about this big old section here. A big jump's gonna be good if it just has a little more speed coming in. What I was realizing when I was trying to test it out, like it was, is that even if the jump face is nice, it also has these speed robbers in here, so I don't really know what these were supposed to be. Maybe like the other spot, it's just the shape that the terrain was, so they just kind of went with that. Decided they would just make like rollers, but this one looks like it was built. But it's not very good because you have to tap the brakes to kind of try to stay on the ground, but it doesn't have the right shape to kind of like quite just hop over it. This one's probably going to be good to just do like the others, cut into the face and just give it a little more boost. Just enough so you kind of float over this round top and then land full speed, no brakes, boom, clear that. So I can cut kind of like a little kicker into that, just like I did with the other ones. And then this, it almost works. What I was doing was coming full speed and hitting this high side. And then kind of like trying to just float just a couple feet right over this high part at sort of like a little bit of an angle. So then you drop down in here and then you're lined up. So that's kind of what this one is wanting to do. Sort of like a curved floater, I guess you'd call it. I don't know if it has a technical name. It's pretty good though. So I'll enhance that by just cutting a lip right on top of that knob. And it doesn't need to be big air. I'm not looking to get big air off this. I'm just looking to float just a little bit so I don't lose speed. And I don't have have to tap the brakes to kind of try to stay on that corner. I'll just jump the corner, pretty much. So that's the idea.
Alright, time to drop in a floater real quick. That's the high part right there. I mean, with this one, I'm starting to kind of just get like maybe a little too picky about it, but I really want maximum speed come into that nice big booter, make the most of it. I don't have a big area. I'm trying to loosen it. Okay, clear out this one little line. Sod clumps. Get them out by hooking underneath. Going along with the rut here like that. Tap on the side. That's the best way to get the grass out. Good thing. That's a good enough entrance out of there. It's good enough just to make a line that you can hook into. Man, that stuff is solid. coming down off the line. I just made the last cut. I want to keep in with that, so that means this is the hit spot right here. Have more of a natural edge right here, so this will be the top of it.
Coming through here, it's nice and steep. Pretty cleared out too. Good. Grassy in here, but there's tons of speed. There's nothing huge coming after this anyway. So just the bikes rolling through will start to make a line through that grass. It'll get better and better as time goes on. So I won't bother trying to cut into that too much right now. And then this I was working on just right at the end of the last time I was up here. All I did was just clear the grass off a little bit. And broke it up a little bit. And then just raked it up into more of a ramp on the edge there. So this one, it's not a really big air. It's not really high or far. It's just more of like a high-speed kind of a skimmer. Just kind of like skim off the top here and float down to there really quick. Catch that little berm so you can funnel into the chute and rip on down. I looked around down in there a little bit, but the stuff down there is a little more overgrown. Plus, it's more hiking, getting up and down in there. So it's going to take me a little longer to work on those parts, and I kind of need to plan out what I want to do in there a little bit more. So that's going to probably be for next time. Plus, check it out, that frozen fog's creeping up. And it's going to be way different up here if that gets up here.
It's going to totally kill the party.